Alastair Clarkson.
Oh, Nat does this. Our producer does this all the time. Promises things that I'll do in the intro. And I don't want to do this.
Katie, intro our man.
Kanga, kanga, kanga. Okay.
Clarko, welcome, mate. Welcome to Perth. Obviously, you did a bit of time in Bunbury.
So you get the Leica on this morning when you get on that bike?
Well, I can ride, funnily enough, so I don't need to get the Leica on. Only those that can't ride. What do you make of a 41-year-old who can't ride a bike?
42.
Well, can he swim?
Well, he can swim, yes.
Okay, so you might be able to do a triathlon then.
We're taking full steps this morning, mate.
I hope he can run.
Full step. He's done a marathon. He has done that. We can pay that.
Yeah.
But, mate, Bunbury got the win and everything seems like roses after all.
Yeah, it wasn't a great spectacle in terms of the footy itself. Great spectacle in terms of the ground and the setup. You know, that was fantastic. They've done some work down there.
Yeah.
The southwest, just opening up the Bustleton to air traffic, it just means that it's so accessible for people to come into that region. And it was funny last year. We came across to the Coldplay concert at Optus
yes, of course.
in November. I think that was the last time I'd seen you. Yeah, it was terrific. But we flew into Bustleton because Strats, who lives down there, said Ben Stratton said, flying is spend a couple of days with me, Laura, and the kids. So me and Cam Matthews, ordered our flights and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The day before, I've texted Strats and said, we're flying tomorrow. He goes, we're not going to be here. I said, what do you mean? He was flying the other way. He's going back to Melbourne for Taylor Duray's wedding. So any chance of letting us know? But we had a great 3 or 4 days down there before we came up for the Coldplay concert. So that was I hadn't been to Margaret River for 30 years.
Yeah.
And to go down around that region, Dunsborough, Bunbury, Bustleton, it's just amazing how much it's progressed, and great that they're now playing some footy down there.
Have you spent much time in Perth before? What do you make of Perth?
I love Perth.
Yep.
It's a pretty remote city though. That's the trouble. I mean, if it was a little bit closer to anywhere really, it'd be the most popular city in the world, I reckon. And for those that live here, they just love it because it's like their little secret. Spent a lot of time over here. Western Australia has been a great region for our footy club in terms of recruiting players. We've got a lot of supporters over here, mainly probably because Glendenny and the Cracker brothers. But we've got 7 or 8 guys on our list currently who are WA born and bred. So to come over here, for some of those guys, it's just like coming home and playing in front of their mates and their family, it's pretty special.
So when they the club sold the game, 7 or 8 players playing on the list from WA, I imagine that would have put a smile on a few faces.
Yeah, especially the mums and dads. They're sick of trekking across from the west to the east to watch their sons play. So they get to watch them in a couple of games in the west, which is pretty good.
Now, we had a laugh out there just moments ago because it was a scrappy game on the weekend. I must admit, I was actually fishing at the time. I haven't been fishing for 15 years. I went fishing.
Zave didn't catch a second of it.
No, well...
halfway through the third quarter, I was thinking about going fishing as well.
But you gave the wall a little soft tap. And we had a laugh that 15 years ago at the MCG, you didn't give the wall a soft tap, and it nearly hit me in the head. But you added a piece to the story I'd completely forgotten about. On the Monday, you went to the MCG with a bit of plasterboard and said, I'll fix the bloody thing myself.
Yeah, well, the old, we were in the building game. The old man was a builder for about 60 years back in the bush, and thought to myself, they're probably going to charge me about $5,000 to do this, which wasn't too far off the price. I can get the old man to do it for a couple $100. So we went in there. They didn't accept the offer, unfortunately. It cost me about $5 or $10,000.
I love going to the coach's box when they show the coach's box and the coaches just reacting, and you have some of the best reactions as well. But have you been told to tone it down? Is that why you just gave him a gentle tap?
Self-toning. I had the fist back, and as I was about to punch that wall on the weekend, I thought back to the Collingwood game where Suckers kicked the ball straight to the full forward from full back, and I thought, I better just check whether this is a plaster wall rather than a brick one. So I just give it the soft tap. I realised it was plaster, and my fist was going to go straight through it.
More to come with Alastair Clarkson.
Well, Clarko, first of all, was that a bit of a pain in the ass? Like, be honest, safe space here.
Well, he always provided plenty of humour, and he's not too dissimilar. And actually doesn't surprise me too much he's doing what he's doing now. had a really nice balance of when to knuckle it down and do the work, which was really only for 2 hours on game day. And the rest of the time, great fun and great comic amongst the boys.
No, I appreciate that, mate, because we found some comic relief in the stuff you would get up to at times too. And you've been coaching for how long now? 20 years?
20 years, yeah.
20 years, so that's a lot of team meetings. And, the team meetings can get a bit mundane at times, and you sit there and you're sort of looking at the watch, and it's on you to inspire, show some initiative.
Get creative.
And over the journey, you have been creative in certain meetings. And I've given Lammy a couple of dot points here, but I actually threw it into a group chat with a couple of blokes you would have thoroughly enjoyed, being Kyle Cheney, Liam Shields and Matt Spanger, just to reflect on some moments to get some dot points for Lammy.
Xavier's been crying, by the way, laughing, just like reading some of these out. And
well, about 50 came through. I asked for a couple, and about 50 came through.
I've had some doozies.
So you've got some unique coaching methods, team meetings and whatnot to keep it creative. So I'm just going to kind of headline them, and you can sort of briefly say what they were about. But when you came dressed as a British guard...
Yeah, well, that was a changing of the guard. We had a lot of our leaders out that day, and we sort of changing of the guard. So I dressed up in the British guard, and didn't work too well. The changing of the guard wasn't ready to change, so that was a fizzer.
You brought along a guitar for a bit of a sing along to Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
Yeah. I think this might have had a bit of sentiment to this one.
Yeah, you handed out a hymn sheet. Spang felt like he was in church, he reckons. And he reckons you weren't quick enough on the ballot, so they kept having to go back a word or two to get up to where you were.
Yeah, I always had trouble with the pace of my guitar. not real flash on the guitar, nor the vocals.
Throwing oranges at a wall until one splattered.
No, we wanted one to splatter. It was actually a mandarin, right? You know, you go away on holidays and you come back and there's always always the orange or the one orange or mandarin that's gone rotten. But if it's touched another one, it'll start poisoning that one. So that was the message. Don't be the rotten mandarin that's going to poison the rest of the group.
Spread toxicity.
Step up. Yeah,
I like it. You had them study ballet.
Oh, well, yeah, the ballet one was my biggest fizzer, I think. I was ice skating ballet, and it was all about doing things in tandem, a little bit like X is going to do on the bike later on this morning, but making sure that you're in sync with one another. Right. Obviously not just in pairs, but 18 of you. I was just enthralled, so I prepared this and had the speech ready, and then I'm looking up at the screen and I'm captivated, and there was like Chinese whispers going on in the back of the room. Like, this is shit, and then they'd worked out when it just got to the crux of me turning around and saying, "Oh, how was that, boys?" And and then the next couple of lines. Standing ovation from all the boys. Clapping. This is the best one they've ever seen. When they're just taking the piss off. Get out of here, you whackers. So
just imagining Xavier in a tutu, to be fair, is enough for me. And this one is really interesting. You made them swim laps underwater like the Navy SEALs the day before a game.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to try to inspire. Like Zav was no good in the water, and especially no good with clothes on. But it's ironic that he got Liam Shields to actually contribute to this segment, because he was even worse in the water than X, which made him feel good. But yeah, we just knew that we're gonna have to use all our all the oxygen in our lungs the following day. So. Let's get used to what it feels like without air in our lungs. But
day before a game, though.
That was only 6 metres into the swim for X to bail out.
Honestly, I remember taking the deepest breath, and then about 6 metres in, I shot to the surface and turned around, and Liam Shields was 3 metres behind me. He mustn't have pushed off.
To be fair, we only put him in clothes because I was sick of looking at X in his speedos.
That is so fair.
We're looking forward to tomorrow night.
Go the Roos. I'm wearing this top tomorrow. Loud and proud. Go the Roos.
Yeah, agreed. You can become a Roo for a day. They take on Fremantle at Optus Stadium tomorrow night, 5:35 bounce down. You can go to kangaroos.com.au/WA for tickets and experiences. You can join the...
Kanga.
Get in and join in on that. Alastair Clarkson, really appreciate you coming in this morning on Triple M Breakfast, and hopefully next time you're over here, we'll get you in again.
Good on you. Thanks, Cody.
Get some
Thanks,
more stories on Xavier. It's Triple M Breakfast, 7:54.